Hope your previous lecture is over. I'm audible. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Last time we started with the sixth unit. They've introduced why there is a learning important, how machine learns. Hope slides are visible to you. In last lecture, this is what we have seen. We started with the quote, and currently, if we are computer science student, what things we should work on, which area we should study hard, and common probable answer of great people is machine learning, where we want machine to learn and do tasks for us in the future. So there we have started to see how we can learn, why it is important, why machine learning is important, and what we can do in that. We have seen small example of text recognition, then traditional programming and machine learning. What is the difference between them? So we have understood last lecture. So machine learning, where we just provide the data and we define what is the required output, and computer on its own by its learning capability and computational capability, it will give us kind of program for our data input and the kind of output which we want. So that is the machine learning part. Comparatively to the traditional programming is different, where we use computers, we provide data, and we write a program, and then computer compiles it and gives an output. So that thing is are changing in machine learning. The machine will write a program for us based on the kind of inputs and the kind of output we provide. So that is the comparison which we have seen in acquisition of knowledge learning. That is what we have seen, and there are great people who defines machine learning is very important, where we can have algorithms, computing data, and all fields are covered under machine learning. This is also we have seen machine learning fits everywhere. Machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence which fits in every sector. History also we know John McAfee is the father of the AI. We've seen what humans see and what machine computer sees, and it converts to a particular binary part into the required application part. And we have seen last lecture, last slide, like what is input. So input can be X, which is treated as can be anything, images, text, mails, and we are going to see example of mail, simple mail, and how we can identify it, whether it is a spam mail or whether it is important one primarily. So output will be the mail will be a spam as non-spam mail. We don't know how to exactly do it, So we are unknown. So the target function we can define like f is equal to x to y, where we are mapping the males. And data we can consider the males, right? And based on the learning, we develop a model, we develop a hypothesis class, which gives us the clarification that why if a particular male is spam or given heading as a spam mail. So why one of the particular mail is called as a spam mail, and why one of the particular mail is not treated as a non-spam mail. So this we are going to learn. We are going to develop a model based on this, and that is our hypothesis class. And based on this, the new, which is unknown as a target function, will identify whether the input exceeds spam or non-spam. So we will have a clear picture of why it is a y, right? So these are the 5 things which we are giving more important factor in machine learning. So every machine learning algorithm will have definitely these 3 parts. Will have a model class, that is a representation, evaluation, that is objective function, how we are going to evaluate, and optimization, that is how much accurately we have learned and we have predicted correctly. So if one of the mail we have spammed it and named it, it is a spam mail, then how accurately we have done it. So that is optimization. So these 3 parts will combine algorithm. Algorithm will be divided into these 3 parts, we can say. Model class, objective function, and optimization. So how we can represent, how we can model. There are a number of different algorithms which we do have. We have learned some techniques also. Decision trees. We can see we can have a decision tree which can build model class, which can represent the model, set of rules, logical programs, instances, Bayes or Markov nets. Those are also called as the graphical models. Graph tree also we have seen. Neural networks we have seen. Support vector machines, SVM, by this name those are very famous. Ensemble classifiers, classifier also we have learned, like etc. These different model classes are available with help of which we can represent the model learning. Decision tree, rules, instances, graphical models, neural networks, support vector machines, model ensemble classifiers. Hope I'm audible and your slides you can see visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So next part of algorithm is objective function. How we evaluate? We evaluate based on the accuracy. So how much accurately we have classified, how accurately we have learned and we have trained and we are correctly predicting. We sometimes check precision and recall. We also use a squared error. So how much error percentage is there. Based on that, we can say whether our objective function is achieved, whether we can evaluate ourselves. If error is less, we can say our accuracy is more. So whatever learning we have done is correct. If error is very high, then we can say accuracy is very less. So we can say that whatever learning we have done, the model based on that which we have built is wrong. So such a way we can take evaluate likelihood, how to calculate likelihood. We have seen last example in last lecture. So there is a formula, likelihood and all the stuff. Prior probability, posterior probabilities we can calculate. We can consider utility theory, cost. Even we can consider margins. Entropy is a energy gain which will have a formula which we can calculate, and based on the entropy factor we can define whether we have correctly learned or not. For example, alphabet A is there. So there is a particular symbol of A, right? So we learn that this is the symbol of A. So next time, whenever such kind of symbol comes, we can correctly identify that this is a character A. If suppose character A is there and we are saying that it is a P, then definitely our learning is wrong. So the training set which we have learned, the symbol which we say is a P, it is not a P, it is a A, but we are wrongly saying that. So that is the accuracy, that is the precision, that is the error, that is the less likelihood, right? So that indicates the training set which we got and we have learned is wrong. And that's why we can evaluate. So such a way we have to evaluate whether learning which we have made, which we force to machine to learn is right or not. Right? So these are the factors based on that which we can evaluate. So we have a representation of model class using decision trees, graphical models, neural networks, support vector machines, model ensembles, classifiers, and then we'll check whether we have wrong or correct based on the accuracy, squared error, likelihood, posterior probabilities, entropies, divergences. So, okay, we can evaluate, but how many types of learnings are available? So there are four types of learnings are available, which we can classify. Four types. So one is a supervised learning, one is a unsupervised learning, one is hybrid or we can say mix of both. So that is also very famous name, and that is a semi-supervised learning. So first one, as I said, supervised learning, first one. Second one is unsupervised learning. That is mixture of both, semi-supervised learning. And fourth one is, anybody knows? Reinforcement learning. These are the four types of learnings. What is mean by supervised learning? Supervised learning, it means somebody is there with who is helping to us. In which form? That can be anything. But something is there which we take the help of when we learn. It is called as a supervised learning. What is it? So basically, the data, training sets which we take for learning includes a desired output, which have some information for help, and such kind of learning is called as a supervised learning. So remember, always in supervised learning, training data set includes what is to be learning, what we are going to do, and some kind of information regarding that. So that is what is called as desired output. So training data will have a more knowledge, more information, so that we can learn, and how to learn, that is also given. So in training data set itself it is given. So you can have a labeled classes. So always we can say that when there is some more information is given how to learn about, then such kind of learning is called as a supervised learning. Unsupervised. So there is no information, no extra information, no help is there. So without our help, on our own we have to learn. Then it is called as a unsupervised learning. So training data does not include desired outputs. So training data which we are using to learn will not have a sufficient information, will not have a clear information. We have to identify. We on our own we have to learn it. So there is no supervisor, no help, no such information, no desired output. If help is there, information is there, more information is there, steps are there, desired outputs are there, then such learning we can say it is a supervised learning. Supervised learning, for example, suppose you have given a task that you have to go from one source to destination, and in that from source to destination they have given that you have to walk 4 kilometers. After 1 kilometer there will be a right turn, after the second kilometer there will be a left turn, After a third kilometer, there will be a zigzag, and then you are going to reach the destination. Then you can identify your reach destination. So itself here they have given that after 1 kilometer, what are the symbols which you are going to take. Means that is a help. So once I cross left turn, then I can say, yeah, 1 kilometer I have traveled. I am on right direction. Second kilometer, yeah, there is one more right turn. Then third zigzag is over. So I can identify that I am on the right track because it was given when we are supposed to start our journey. So such kind of thing is supervised. In unsupervised, nothing is there. No left, right turn or zigzag, nothing is mentioned. Just source and destination. Go. So we can take wrong direction also. Possibility. So that is the problem of unsupervised learning. So keep in mind, supervised learning, the training data includes desired outputs. In unsupervised learning, training data does not include desired outputs. So in supervised learning, there will be help, there will be extra information, there will be some guidance. In unsupervised learning, no help, no extra information, no guidance. On your own, you have to learn. That is unsupervised learning. Hope I am clear. If these two are simple to understand, then next two are also very easy. So if you got supervised and unsupervised, next is very simple. Now third part we say it is a combination of both, and that is called as a semi-supervised. One more name is there, that is weekly supervised or weekly learning. But basically, it is very famous by the third name, and that is semi-supervised learning. Now here, as we say semi-supervised, it, it have a small information. So training data includes a few, not all, a few desired outputs. That means not entire information, it can have a small help, small information. Suppose there are puzzles, and for to solve a puzzle, very small, simple hint is given. So such kind of things. If without hint is there, it is unsupervised. With hint is there, it is supervised. But a very small hint is there. So we can say to solve a puzzle, we can take small information of it. Few desired outputs. So that is a semi-supervised learning. And fourth one is reinforcement learning. It has a rewards from sequence of actions. The particular types of actions which you are going to take, definitely it will give you the solutions, next solutions like that. So this is a reinforcement learning. So there are rewards for each action. If proper action you have taken, you will get a reward like that. Reward means the next step. If you perform very well the particular action, definitely you will get a hint of next action. So such a way reinforcement learning. So that is a fourth type, where you have a rewards for sequence of actions. If your sequence of actions wrong, definitely you are not going to get reward. So these are the four types of learning. Supervised learning. The training data set includes desired outputs. Unsupervised learning. Training data does not include desired outputs. Third one, semi-supervised learning. So training data includes few desired outputs. And reinforcement learning. So rewards for sequence of actions. Up to this, any problem? And mute and tell, or you can type in chats. Any problem up to this? Are you clear with types of learnings? So there are four types of learnings: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement. We'll go to the example: spam versus regular mail. If your friend writes a mail, you know how it is. It will be a regular mail. And some mails are there which you don't know and which ask something. And if it asks for a secret data, then your data can be stolen if you reply. And that's why we call it as a harmful mails or spam mails. Those are not regular mails. But how to identify? Sometimes they include such kind of links that by clicking on it, automatically the virus is active or something like that. But we don't know how to identify such. So what we do, we build a model. We build a model on that and we define such type of mails and what it can have. Based on the contents we define. If these contents are included in that mail, then we can name it. Yeah, because it contains this harmful terms. That's why it is a spam. This mail, it does not include such harmful mails or such kind of links. That's why it is a regular mail. So such a way we learn, we build a model and then we predict. So that is the example which we are going to see right now. So spam versus regular mail. This is a mail, type of mail, just example which we are taking. This mail says that from Miss Nadia Bamba, permit me to inform you my desire of going into business relationship with you. I am Nadia Bamba, the only daughter of late Mr. and Mrs. James. My father was a director of cocoa merchant in Abidjan, the economic capital of Ivory Coast, before he was poisoned to death by his business associates on one of their outing to discuss on a business deal. When my mother died on 21st October 2002, my father took me very special because I am motherless. Before the death of my father in a private hospital here, he secretly called me on his bedside and told me that he had a sum of dollar 68000 $6,800,000 left in suspense account in the bank, and he used my name as his first daughter father. He also explained me that it was because of his wealth and some huge amount of money that his business associates supposed to balance in from the deal they had. Just I'm reading out to provide you the information so you can get the terms, words. So I should seek for a God-fearing foreign partner in country of my choice where I will transfer this money and use it for investment purposes such as real estate or hotel management. Please, I am honorably seeking your assistance in the following ways. So to provide a bank account where this money would be transferred to serve as a guardian of this money since I am a girl of 19 years old. Your private phone number and your family background so that we can know each other more. Moreover, I am willing to offer you 15% of total sum as a compensation for effort of input after the successful transfer of this fund to your designated account overseas. Anticipating to hear from you soon. Thanks and God bless. Please stay. Hope you got a idea. I've read the mail intentionally to understand. So this mail is saying that particular Nadia Bamba, his father dead. He was a businessman and he has $6,008,000 in his secret account. And this Miss Nadia Bamba want out of country one friend to whom she can transfer this fund so that it will be safely withdrawn and invested somewhere. And she offers 15% you can say the total sum of. So out of $6,800,000, 15% will be of mine. That means to the sender. And to transfer it, she wants my bank account number, name, private phone number, and other family background. How come somebody directly gives 15% commission? 15 crores, 50%. If suppose it's 100 crore amount, 15%, it means 15 crore will be mine just to help her. Why I am only the chosen person? I don't know how. Still, so this is how the mail is. Now, how one can dictate this mail as a spam or regular mail based on the terms. Which terms? So we have learned from huge spam mails that what they contains, and they contains a lot of words like money, free, bank account, personal number, private number, family background, Aadhaar card number, PAN number, like this. Hope you got now. So when we see thousand spam mails, out of thousand there is a similarity. They contain this kind of words: money, free, bank account, private number, family background, age, and all this stuff, this kind of thing. In a single mail, so we can identify that if these words are there in that inside the mail, yeah, this is matching to the spam. So you have learned, no? Hope you're getting my point now. स्पॅम मेल कसे ओळखायचे तर ओळखले आपण की अशा हजारो स्पॅम मेल वाचून बघितले आपण. त्यात काय आहे तर त्यात सारख्या ह्या टर्म्स आहेत. त्यात पैसे आहेत, मनी आहे, फ्री बँक अकाउंट विचारलंय, आपलं डिटेल्स विचारले, सगळे डिटेल्स विचारले, असंच आहे काय. ज्याच्यावरून अशा जर टर्म्स असतील तर आपण ओळखू शकतो की हा स्पॅम मेल असेल. ह्या जर टर्म्स नसतील फ्रिक्वेन्सी तर आपण सांगू शकतो की नाही, हे पॅटर्न नाही येत, त्यात मनी, फ्री बँक अकाउंट असलं काही विचारलेलं नाही, मग ते रेग्युलर मेल्स आहेत, आपण शिकलो. सो दिस इज द लर्निंग, राईट. So regular mails, word usage pattern is more spread out, not like this. So the whatever words are used, those are different, not like this. Then we can say it is a regular mail. So we have a strategy. So we have our model. So here you can see left side topmost. I know you will be very much interested. Kindly provide me with the details below. First name, surname, address, city, state, country, telephone number, occupation, date of birth, copy of international passport or ID or something like that. This information they want, and if we provide, they will steal my information. If such terms are there, we can identify that this is a spam mail. So we take these terms. This the X is written like from 300 money to account to. So number of times these kind of terms are occurred. And downside one more mail is a Ross Hirschik. He says, "Hi Dhruv, sorry for high latency. I just got back from Singapore last night." So there does not include such kind of words, right? So there is, you can see the pattern frequency only one or two, and above it's huge. So we can say that the above mail is a spam mail because it contains such kind of words. It has some pattern which we have learned, right? So this is how we can calculate it. So probabilities, final procedure based on the formula, based on the learning, final probabilities, and if these are the values, and we can say these values are matching to the spam type based on the historical data, based on the previous learning, based on the training data set. Then we can predict that this mail is also, because it contains the words like money, account, free, details, first name, other name, a number, all these kind of words. That's why it is a spam. So we have correctly classified, we have correctly predicted. So based on the learning model, we have identified a new sample as spam mail, right? So that indicates our confidence or performance, right? If we correctly classify, definitely our performance is high, our accuracy is high, our error rate is less, our entropy is less, right? Hope you understand the example, simple example which we have taken, how we have learned. There is X, so this is what we have done. Input X, output Y. We don't know how to identify, but we have learned. We have built a model hypothesis class, and based on that, we have predicted what is the output Y. That's why we said there are types of learning, four types of learning: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, reinforcement learning. Supervised learning includes training data includes desired outputs. Unsupervised include does not include desired outputs. Semi-supervised include very few desired outputs. And in reinforcement learning, there are rewards for sequence of actions. So we can name it, we can show by figures. Task supervised learning. So X classification Y, X regression Y. So there are regression techniques, there are classification techniques which are called as a supervised learning techniques, where the output can be discrete, the output can be continuous. So classification is a supervised learning methodology. Regression is a supervised learning methodology where we do have a desired outputs in our training set. We do have a help. We do have some extra knowledge, extra information in the input itself. And classification is a supervised learning. Regression is a supervised learning. At other side, unsupervised learning, clustering, again X to Y, and this Y can be discrete ID. Clustering, when we do clustering, it is a unsupervised learning. Dimensionality reduction is a unsupervised learning, right? Where there are no desired outputs, no help, no extra information. On our own, we have to decide it. Image classification. So classification X to Y, input X, desired output Y, and we based on the model we predict it, and the output can be discrete. Classification of image. So classification of image we have done based on this image. So what image contains? Image contains a food, pizza, wine, and there is a stove because there is a burner, right? That those things we have identified in the picture. There are too many things again. Just we have simplified here. Image classification. So this is a supervised learning. Any doubt up to this? Yes. We quickly review what we have learned up to this moment. So from this we have started to work input, output, unknown target function which we can define as f of x to y. We can have a data x1, y1 to xn, yn instances, different instances of data. And we can have a more model hypothesis class which we define at g of x to y, and y is g of x. Based on that, we can define the output, right? Or guess output, predict one. Algorithm has a three components: model class, objective function, optimization. We can represent the model class by using different algorithms, decision tree, sets of rules, instances, graphical models, neural networks, support vector machines, ensemble classifiers. We can evaluate based on the accuracy, based on the precision, squared error, likelihood, posterior probabilities, that is conditional probabilities, cost, entropy, margin. We can have four types of learnings: supervised learning, unsupervised, semi-supervised learning. Training data includes desired outputs. Unsupervised learning does not include desired outputs. Semi-supervised include very few desired outputs, and there are rewards for sequence of actions is a reinforcement learning. You can have example of spam mail, which includes the particular words, and regular mails will not have such kind of patterns, or very few such kind of words. Based on that, we can define spam mails and regular mails. We will calculate how many times those words are coming, their probabilities, and based on that, we can gauge that whether it is a spam or not. We have seen classification, regression are supervised learning, clustering and dimensionality reduction are unsupervised learning. And one example of supervised learning, okay, there is a food and that food is a pizza, there is a drink and there is a stove. So this is an image classification. We have classified the images, the contents of the images, right? Correct. So this is the example which we have seen. So this much which we have seen right now, I think this much is enough for today from my side. Next things we'll see in next lecture. Probably very few things are remained, so we can wind up our total syllabus almost. Seventh unit, as I said last time also. Today many people are there, so one more time I'll revise. Seventh unit is your case study, and all of you have to submit one report, 3 pages report on the topic artificial intelligence, future and current trends. Right. So that is your the final task, and which will end our syllabi. Right. So all of you to submit one task. Yeah. So the topic you can write it down: AI, present and future. So this is the topic on which you have to submit 3 pages report. This is kind of a seminar. So in report you can mention title, then introduction, then query, applications if any. You can, if you want to discuss or mention the advantages of AI, disadvantages of AI, No problem. And finally, conclusion. And at last your details like your name, roll number, class, and year. Right? So in chat, I have given the whole information. So yeah, the topic for you as a task of entire course, the AI, artificial intelligence, the present and future. And you have to submit 3 pages report, and report can include all these things: title, introduction, theory, application, advantages. Spell is wrong here. Advantages and disadvantages, and at conclusion. And last, your details: your name, your roll number, class, uh, year, mention year, same one, and subject also. Right. So we'll stop here. We'll go to last part, attendance part. Which share a tab to you. You can see. Based on the participant list, I'll write the presentee. So roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 9, 11, 9, 11. Then 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 21. 21, 22, 23, 22, 23, 25, 26, 28, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 31, 32, 33, 35, 37. Yes, there is a question, sir. We have to write report on pages or in doc file. You write in doc file. Remember, you have to write in doc file and send me both. Convert that doc into PDF. Doc and PDF. Both file you just send. I will give the submission link. So you can upload there. Like you are uploading assignment, right? Similarly, I will provide one link where you have to submit the, you can say this is a, we will give name to that as a case study. Okay. So we'll give the name case study submission, and you can submit there. Okay. The files. Both PDF and Word, I will provide 2 files, maximum 2 files you can upload. Even if you are writing by your pen and pencil on paper, 3 pages, no problem. Such file also you can scan and you can upload. So there is no restriction whether it should be Word or PDF. If you are writing by hand and you are uploading scanned pages, no problem. Just you have to remember, you have to submit this report, and everybody's report should be different. Otherwise, everyone is copying and submitting. Don't do that. This is a case study, and this task is individual. So based on that, you will get marks. So individual person should be or supposed to be submit this report. So do not copy paste. Whatever you think you are going through different links, no problem. You can take book, net, anything to help. But everybody's report should be different, no similarity, and you can upload it. Okay. So you can write by handwriting also, or you can type a word file, and you can send me or upload both word and PDF also by converting. No problem. Okay. I hope I'm clear now. We go to the part 37. Up to 37 we have reached. Okay, 39, 40, 41. 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 51, 61, 64, 66, 67. So these are the present numbers. You hope you can see also. See your roll number is there. If any doubt is there, you can ask. So you start preparation regarding the case study submission. I will provide a link. I have uploaded all assignments on. If you visit Moodle account, I have uploaded all assignments, and I have uploaded all notes also. So you can take the help of notes and write down assignments and upload it. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Only the experiments, 4 experiments covered. The write-ups remain. So probably tomorrow I will upload write-ups also. So this will be your submission. So start submission in this week so that you can finish it at the earliest. So if you go to Moodle, I think I have uploaded all the ICs. Yes, yes. After wings, I will put the submission link. No problem. But you can go. You can start writing at least slowly, so that you can complete all assignments. 1 and 2, I think over. 3 and 4, I have uploaded. Just share the screen with you. Showing the artificial intelligence Moodle link. You can see here assignment 1, 2, 3, 4 is there, and all 6 unit PDFs, lecture notes. Experiment 1, 2, third, fourth submission link is remain. I will upload today, tomorrow. All probably all experiments, 5 to 6 experiments. I will upload there. Some videos I have not uploaded. I will upload to week 9 quiz 9. So let us see how many I've solved. 27 attempts only. I will open it up to today. Today's 26. No? I will open the quiz up to 6 p.m. today. You can see now it is open up to 6 p.m. today. So those who have remained, just go and solve the quiz. Solve the quizzes because it is going to get your marks. Hope you got the notice from the HOD, right? So you are going to get such a distribution of marks. So if you are not attempted quiz, go to the link Moodle and attempt the quiz today itself up to 6 p.m. We'll stop here. Thank you very much for joining. Stay safe, stay home, take care. Wish you a good day. Thank you. You can leave. Oh, sorry, I'll leave. Stop recording.